Welcome to Project Eden for Empyrion Galactic Survival, and we're starting this video hanging out in space because I thought I'd start by giving you a bit of a tour of where we got with the capital vessel, which I was rebuilding in the last part. I've also added a little bit of texture to it to make it look a little bit less drab, and what you can see is what I've done is I've gone through and smoothed in this part of the ship, and we've now got a slightly delta effect starting to grow. And if I come down inside here, you'll see that I've actually also started to texture inside the hangar deck. And I think when you've got big spaces like this, putting a bit of texture in, even if it's not brilliant, makes a great difference to the way your ship actually looks, and it also makes the areas come alive. And I've gone for a slightly disco gaudy look, simply because I just thought that the whole area looks so grey and drab that some really bright coloured stripes in here would make quite a big difference. Next thing I'd like to say is a big thank you for your comments and feedback. I got a number of questions related to the ship. Somebody actually quite rightly pointed out the stat situation, and I have to admit I kind of ignored it. In fact, I can't. Now, somebody did point out the stat situation, and oh, I better switch the thrusters on because you can't get true stats unless you actually have your thrusters on. You can see the ship does appear to be a bit unbalanced, but what I want to do in this part is we're going to run for a test flight, go and visit the moon just to see how the ship handles in space and on the moon, and if there's any major problems with the statistics and balance. I've got plenty of spare thrusters that I can put on, and I've also got quite a lot of spare CPU at the moment because we still haven't quite reached the million. So there is a bit more slack here so should I need to add extra thrusters. But I'll be completely honest, I don't really get a feel from stats. What I tend to do is go more for just flying the ship, and if it's a bit sluggish in one direction or there's a bit of a lift problem, which is potential because I've got so much on board at the moment, I just kind of make the adjustments that way. I mean, we've got potential in here, I think, to add braking thrusters. I think that's what someone pointed out the first to begin with. We can put some braking thrusters possibly in here on this red band here, but that is something I want to experiment with in this part. Now, and I've got another question about looting this ship down, and I'll be completely honest, I had a very good go at it. In fact, I've just noticed something down below, and I spent about you can say about an hour and a half of gameplay looting the ship out. Oh, look at that. There's a drill turret here. We're certainly going to take you. I think that would be quite useful. We can mount it on the ship. I missed that completely. As you can see, what I've been doing is it's literally going through. I've got most of the, you could call the really valuable resources out. Also, in the process of doing it, I also picked up another loot box which was hidden up in the rafters or somewhere. So what I've really done now is just reduce the ship down to blocks. I think I lost count of the number of blocks I've actually pulled out here, and I think you could probably spend hours here just mining out all the different blocks. So if you want to go for it, feel free. But I must admit, what beat me in the end wasn't the need to recover. It was my actual finger doing this all the time. What I actually did is because the ship itself was filling up, what I've been doing is coming in here and dropping these blocks and other resources into here, and then effectively putting it up in the workshop here, because what I'm thinking is to make a hover tank. And the other thing I wouldn't mind doing is possibly getting a second CV from the workshop, because I had a couple of questions about what I'm going to do in the ship. One of the reasons why I like to build my primary capital vessel is because I think it actually improves the immersions. One of the downsides of how can you say, of getting all your ships out of the workshop, I don't feel like I don't really engage with them in the way that I would when I build one myself. So I always have I've got this rule now that I always want to build my primary capital vessel, and I'm quite happy to get small ships, especially hover tanks. I've never really got the hang of building them, so I always tend to get the hover tank from the workshop. And what I'm also looking for is a second, what you could call combat CV. So if any of you guys got a good recommendation for a combat CV, feel free to put it in the comments. And when I mean a combat CV, I'm looking at one that is probably light on storage, fairly heavy on armors, not too big, fairly nimble, so that it can go down, possibly engage POIs, also take on any opposition should it be necessary. And what I will do in the long term is this ship's going to continue to grow, because eventually what I'd like to do is make this into some kind of orbital platform. And once it's an orbital platform, then it's never going to land on a planet. And therefore it can be quite heavy and cumbersome. It doesn't need to be aerodynamic or anything like that. And we're now down on here. And what I want to do, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to wander out and see what we can find. I'm kind of looking a little bit for some asteroids as well. So what we're going to do is just fly the ship. You see, we've got a top speed of about 100. I think we're just going to need to adjust the viewpoint a little bit as well. I think that should be okay. It must not, because we're in third person. The ship seems to be a little bit nose heavy as well. Right, we've got a Prometheum asteroid there. That could be quite useful. And of course, what we could do is mount the tool to do the actual thing. But to do that, I would have to think that, as somebody pointed out, yeah, I think we do have a problem with the braking. We brake automatically like that. Yeah, I think we do need some braking capacity. About left and right. Lateral thrusters are a little bit weak as well. Lift thrusters are always pretty strong as well. Down thrusters are good. Stop the ship, thank you, game. Yeah, I think what I'm going to need to do is put some lateral thrusters on. And of course, we've got plenty of them, so we're just going to break that. If I go to supply ammos, I've got 6 of these medium thrusters. I think I've got more than that actually. Got another 13 over here. So we've got 19 additional thrusters. So it's not like we've got a shortage of thrusters. We got the capacity to put things in. And I think what we'll do is we've got. Let me just hack into here. And I think probably that is, we go in, say here, like, can't remember how what's the here, this is 2 by 2 by 1. So if we can do is, and then hopefully just drop you in there. Take that out. And then we can skip over to here. We can drop another lateral thruster in here as well. Like that. That should give me a bit more braking. While I'm at it, I'm just wondering. That's actually my residential room, isn't it? So that should be okay. It's going to mean the ship's going to be a little bit weak in this area, but I think we'll be okay. Put you on the lateral line there. Hardened steel block. Somebody also suggested that I should use a little bit more polycarbonate substrate, and I have to admit I tend to forget completely about using the carbon substrate, and with my primary capital vessel, I can be a little bit prejudiced against it. And my general rule is for my capital vessel like this, I prefer to always have the carbon substrate behind 2 layers of armored blocks. Simply because one thing I found with capital ships, especially ships that you really want to protect, using carbon substrate just gets blown through too quickly. So that tends to be my rule with respect to the using carbon substrate. I know it makes it lighter, but I think in the context of this ship, I don't think lightness is going to be an issue, because eventually it's never going to land on the actual, you could say, on a planet. It would be always in space, and I think once you're in space, weight isn't that big a factor. Well, that's once I get to the point of having an orbital platform. Of course, what we're going to have to do now is we have to auto group all the thrusters back in again, and then we're going to take them off, put them back on again, and we'll just take a look at the stats now. So we got a little bit more lateral thrust. Should have a bit more braking thrust now to counter the massive engines on the back, and we'll just give that a go. And I know it's not scientific, but yeah, I think the braking will still be an issue, because it's still not anywhere near. But oops, just crashed into I think this is the asteroid we're going to go for. Just get away from the asteroid and just ping in. We've got 2 Prometheum asteroids here. I can find them. Yeah, we got a bit more braking now, a bit more lateral thrust. I'm going to be quite happy with that just for the moment, and then again I can make more refinements as we go forward. What I'm going to do now is we're just going to kind of butt up against here, turn off the thrusters to save a bit of fuel. Got them a tight wad, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mine out some Prometheum. We're just going to get in here. I mean, I don't want vast quantities of it, but I think with the fuel consumption of this ship, I think a bit more Prometheum will make it be useful. But of course, this is the nature of this asteroid, means that we should be able to pick it up quite quickly. I'll just, oops, need to drill. Sorry. I think small arms locker. Where on earth? I think I might have put the drill in. Yeah, there we are. Need to put the drill there, out there. We've got the texture tool enabled. So we just come here. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to dig out some Prometheum. Just replenish what I've been using. And I'll be right back. Okay guys, welcome back. I'm just finishing off this little bit of an area here. I think I've got quite a lot of Prometheum. The other problem is because I spent so much time scrapping the capital vessel, my finger is hurting a little bit. So we're just going to pick out some of this in this area here, and that will be it. And then we'll move on. We'll just pick out a little bit through here. I mean, while I was actually doing this, I was thinking about maybe I do need to get that tool mounted on a ship. The other alternative is to get some mining lasers installed on the SV. That's always a good way to mine asteroids as well. To actually have a mining SV that can fly in and grab everything. Maybe that's something I need to look at. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, in fact, I think that's about it. If you come in here, I've got, what, over 3,000, 4,000 Prometheum now. Let's just cancel that. We'll just fly back to the ship. We've got to fly back to the ship anyway. Yeah, if I show you the MX, The MX has actually got some weapons mounts here, and what I've done in the past is I've moved the Gatling guns to the front, and then in this slot here mounted a couple of mining lasers. And once you've got that, then it makes it a lot easier to mine out these asteroids. You can get really vast quantities. And I'm just gonna come in here, oops, pull away. And what I need to do now is find the moon. I get the impression the moon is over this way somewhere. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to tell. I think we're going to go this way. We'll just build up speed off the inertia drive. Whoa, go there. There's the moon, round the back there. So we're just going to head back towards the derelict ship. When we've got a top speed now of 100 meters per second, well, it's reasonable for a capital vessel. Now, while we're just drifting through space, I just want to talk about something else that someone asked in the comments. That is the main mission. They said that they were been playing on the, I think it's the water star, because they said Ostrason, and they asked about the actual main mission. So I thought I'd just talk a little bit about this. And at the moment, completing the derelict ship here is actually chapter 5. And now, of course, in this series, I want to try and get through all 10 chapters, or as far through as possible. But the problem I've got at the moment is I keep getting sent back to this crash birds. And every time I deactivate the mission, but every time it seems to want to, it's almost like the game is convinced that this mission is not complete. So it says go back and complete it. Because I can't complete it because I did complete it, if that makes sense. And this poses a question I'd like to ask you guys if you've got any experience of the main mission, because I get the impression that yes, you can follow these chapters through. And of course, the first one is the Tales of the Past, which is 1, which technically means that as long as you approach a Talon settlement on a starter planet or something like that, sorry, I'm drifting a little bit, is that chapter 1 will initiate even sometime into the game. The other question I've got is does that apply to the other chapters? Have any of you guys got any experience of saying that you haven't done the first 3 chapters, and say you come across, well, this is the basis of the question actually, that you find the orbital minefield? Will that initiate the chapter 5 storyline, or is there a prerequisite for having done the previous chapters? Which I don't think there is, because based on the fact that I've been able to do chapter 3 without the game with whilst the game believes that I haven't completed chapter 2. So that is the question. I mean, if any of you guys got any knowledge, feel free to chuck it in the comments, and then I'll talk about it in the next video. Anyway, what we're going to do, looks like I've got somebody coming in behind, but actually what I think I do need to check is turrets. Let's see what I had a feeling that, because of course I've added new bases, I'm certainly going to turret that. I'm just going to turn off bases, and we're going to turn off predators. What's triggered that is that I've got a red dot coming in behind me at the moment, and I've got a feeling that might be a drone. But again, there was a bit of a discussion in the comments. In fact, what we can do, I've forgotten all about that, we can turn on our shield generator. Hopefully that will charge. Yeah, it's just charging up now. There was a bit of a discussion in the comments about weapons, and I'll be completely honest, I'm still kind of learning the different weapons options that are available in Project Eden, and I tend to stick with the cannons, because even though they got a slightly slower rate of fire, they do have a little bit more extra range. And what I've found is, as long as you've got interlocking fields of fire, and I found that when you've got drones coming in against multiple cannons, they don't tend to survive very long. Anyway, we're just coming up on the moon here. I mean, the main reason for coming here is just to check that we can land on a place with low gravity. Plus, it'd be fun just to check it out and see what's going on down here, because I still need a few more resources. As usual, it's Zirconium and Neodymium that's the problem. How did I know that I'd come down? Oh, wow. Okay. Got a large minigun drone. We got something up there. I think if we... Hello guys. Let me just level off a bit. So I think what we can do is we can just park here for, actually let's just move over to that a little bit here. Whoops, up a bit. It's one of the annoying factors that you have a tiny little rock on the ground and the ship can't fly. Of course, we're going to need to put ramps on the back as well, actually, come to think of it. And we can just turn the thrusters off. We'll leave the shields on, just in case. And we'll keep the drill and just put it away. And we're just, I think we're going to move to the SV. I must admit, for general exploration, actually, just go back and top up our oxygen before we leave. General exploration of the planet, I do prefer using the SVs. Oops, well, it's because I've got so much. Actually, how much I got left on? Well, we've still got durability of over 3,000 on the armor, which is pretty good. We also need something to eat as well, and we just come in here. Actually, let's just move that around. Put that in the small arms locker. Oh, the other thing I've also done off camera was I kind of dumped a lot of the kind of the low tier weapons into the workshop as well. You can see here, so that the amount of small arms I've got now is quite less, and also the trade goods and a lot of the multi-tools and low tier weapons that I had in here for trade has also been dropped into the workshop. And I've forgotten what I was doing. Oh, yeah, sorry, it's food, wasn't it? We're gonna have some food, not raw food, food and meds. Just pop a burger. Actually, let's just see what the food situation in here is. Oh, we got plenty of food, so we're good. We feel comfortable and satisfied. And I suppose that the other thing I better do is check. Actually, what's the ammunition like? Oh yeah, what's the ammunition like in here? Player, ammo. We used up a fair amount of 15mm. I think we'll just knock up a bit more. Alright, we're going to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only downside of having multiple turrets is that you can. So we got oxygen, we got pentaxid, so we're good to go. Turn the thrusters on, and we'll just go out and see how many missiles we got. 223 missiles. There's something in that direction. And we'll just see what mischief we can get into for the rest of this video. So we're going to head in that direction, because there's something behind the resource in the center. Oh, don't do that. I've just wasted 4 rounds of ammunition. Yeah, there's something level 1 kilometer away. Small magnesium deposit there. Am I interested in shooting down some minigun drone? Very small Promethean deposit there. Haha, gotcha. We'll knock out the. I think that is a trading station, isn't it? Gotcha. Where's the other drone? There it is. We've shot it down, we might as well loot it. Yeah, we've got very small Prometheum deposit there. Considering the amount of Prometheum we've just mined, it's not really worth the effort. And we got a few Wow, 450 degrees. Just land here. Yeah, that looks a bit more kind of let's just go in and check these guys out. Better not fire any missiles at them. Right, we've got some colonists. This is like a small, I don't know, I don't think I've ever seen this before. Let's just go in and say hello. I mean, we should be friendly. Just see what they got. Just gonna say, yep. So if we declared war on the colonists, we could go in and kind of. We got a little bit here. Oops. They're way up here. Or was it just kind of? Oh yeah, there's the entrance. So we'll just go up and have a quick look here. Hello guys. You're selling plants. Obviously what are you shooting at? Probably some hostile creature or something wandering around. So we'll just kind of have a quick... there's not much in here. There's all the guys wandering around. What are you shooting at? Where it was in that direction. Right, anything else around here? I think what we'll do is we'll just keep going in the direction of the sunrise. So we'll just have a quick skype round the moon and see what's going on. Because generally moons don't take that long to get round. We could have a look-see about whether there's any Xerex bases here that could be worth taking down. Oh, go away. Right, looks like there's a Xerex base there. About 1.26 kilometers away. Right, we're inside Xerex territory here. This is a level 3. Going low. Generally on moons, when you approach hostile Xerex bases, always go in low so you can use the terrain to hide from. That's a fuel depot level 3. Fuel depots are nice. I don't really feel the need to, spend a lot of time taking something like that down. Wait, cut it out. We'll just have a little bit of a fly around here. Okay, we'll just duck down a little bit. This is a level 2. This could be another fuel. There's a lot of fuel depots here. We got over here. This is a legacy building. As far as I know, we don't get anything from that. Oh, stop it. Go away. You're just wasting my ammunition. Right, we got a level 1 here. Let's just kind of go in and see what we can find here. Right, we got level 1 communication center here. A little bit too much overconfidence. I think we've taken some damage. Well, look. how much damage we've taken. We've lost some blocks from the front, and this could be an opportunity. We could move the Gatling guns. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a bloody nose. Just do some repairs. Oh, don't retrieve, repair. I think we only lost a little bit from the front, and I think that's an opportunity to rebuild. So that's good. Oh, saw a block here that's a bit damaged. Taking some damage down this side. I think this side we got a little bit of damage as well. Right, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the capital vessel, and just to finish this off, we're going to make some changes to the Merc. Got to make sure we don't wander into that communications center again. Where is my capital vessel? It's over there. So if we fly west and then slightly southwest, what I'm going to do is get back to the capital vessel and just make the changes to the ship. Right, here's the capital vessel. Just going to get back here. We'll just come in over here, level up. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to land completely. I'm just going to hover above, because what we're going to need to do is I'd like to pull out the 2 Gatling guns here. I know it's going to helps if I actually turn the shields off as well. We can't modify with shields in position. I'm going to take that Gatling gun out there, that one there, and then we're going to take this block out here, and that one there, that one there, that one there. That should be back far enough. I'm going to put the... And what we'll do is let's make sure we'll put the 2 Gatling guns on the front like that. We need to repair the block behind. Sorry. Oh well. There. Just finish off the repairs. Make sure we've repaired everything. We take any damage underneath. Like we might have lost a block there. So we need a small flat block. Never find these small kind of little blocks here. That's too small. I think that would probably be it. No, you're too small. I'm thinking in the wrong dimensions now, and I think that's it there. So that gets that back in there. What we can do is I just want to... I'm going to hook to... We'll just put this capital vessel constructor in. Got that there. Just going to hook to there. Upgrade. Let's see what we got here. Got to repair it first, okay. I think what we'll do is we'll just... You've taken a bit of damage, you've taken a bit of damage. Right, you've taken a little bit. Yeah, it was this side of the ship that took most of that attack, but Oh, we'll be okay. We've also got a secondary weapons platform down here. Got that there. We're going to need a front spotlight again. Actually, I've just had a thought. We take out this block here. That will push the spotlight back a little bit further. Right, I need a spotlight. Let me just build one. We got a front spotlight. Let me just see. Can't remember if I've unlocked it. Nope, I haven't actually even bothered to unlock it. While we're here, let's just have a look here. We got these are the more advanced weapons. Let's have a look at our normal weapons. We got the drill module laser here. Good old zirconium alloy again. We'll just unlock that. We got homing rocket launchers. I actually quite like the idea of rail guns actually. Plasma cannon. That'd be nice. Again, zirconium alloy. Everything needs this zirconium alloy. I think we'll just put off. I'll just get here. I'll make a front light if I can find it. There we are. And we're also going to need a small armored window, I think. I'll just make that as well. Hang on. Okay, there. I think it's weapons and ammo, isn't it? Where is it? Let me just drop that off. And just drop that off as well. We don't need the weapons just at the moment. Put that in there. We have the forward-facing light, and then what we'll do is we'll just put you there. That should give. I mean, it's not brilliant protection, but upgrade. Can't do that. What we can do is we're just going to hook back to the constructor. There. And what we're going to do is repair this device first. Thought I'd done it, but obviously the game thinks otherwise. Okay, that one's done. Just harden these two base plates here under the thrusters. Yeah, you're done. You're done. Okay, well, just harden up these two front side pieces as well. Plates and those on this side. I do this side as well. Nope. I think that makes it everything a little bit tougher. Maybe we're just kind of harden up this. I think that covers the front of the ship. And just do you, and you. That makes the front of the ship a little bit tougher. And we got an armored front block. Bit of damage up here as well. Sometimes when you see the sun shining on the side here, something tells me that we've probably lost a. No, maybe we haven't. Let's just work over this area here. A little bit of damage up there and there. I mean, obviously that base kind of had a fair amount of impact on us. And of course, I think that's the point there. Of course, what we're going to need to do is save the template. I've made changes to the ship. And we're just going to jump in the ship. I just want to check what the light's like. Yeah, I think the light's acceptable, even though it's kind of aiming ahead. We're just going to bring the ship back here. Just turn the thrusters off. Jump out the ship. And I think what I might do is, seeing we're going to go up into space. But I see something damaged then. I can still see some damage here. I think that is everything, but I've said that before. So we've now got front mounted Gatling guns. That actually gives us a bit of extra range because they're not back here. That's one of the reasons why I always like to have the Gatling guns on the front. That's an example of the range of these cannons. That with the advantage with cannons is that with the overlocking fire, the drones quite often won't even get in range of the ship to do any damage at all. And I think just to wind this part up now, we're just going to come in here. I just want to look at weapons. We can actually make, yeah, we got 22 zirconium alloy. I think what I am going to make 2 of these. I know it might use up all the rest of my zirconium, but I think having 2 drill modules mounted on the SV could be useful. The only thing is we'll probably have to make a change inside with one of the cargo boxes, because we need to put in a harvester box in. So just do that. We've got cargo box, container controller. I'm not exactly sure where that container controller is. Let's see if we can find it. Hopefully it's somewhere where we can... Container controller, show on HUD. There's 3.5. Yeah, so I'd say that the container controller is there. We've got another one for ammo here. What we'd have to do is take this one out and put the harvester one in. But to do that, I'd have to empty this temporarily and then put it back in again as the harvester, which I think we can do, but I'll do that off camera before I leave the moon. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. In the next part, I'd like to do this here, uncertain outcomes. It says here, locate a gas giant moon orbits Elion system, starter system. Reputation requires a neutral standing with 3 colonists of the Polaris megacorp. Well, I think we've got the standing. Polaris, yeah, we're friendly with Polaris. So in the next part, that's what I'd like to do. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.